my boy Billy Griffin Jr. Let's go. Legends of Baltimore, legends of Baltimore, known all over the world. Legends of Baltimore, legends of Baltimore, known all over the world. Legends of Baltimore, legends of Baltimore. Ooh, legends of Baltimore, legends of Baltimore, known all over the world.
I'm Skip Dorsey.
WaWa LeGrange.
And we are talking about legends of Baltimore. These are two of the great legends of Baltimore. Guitar players, played with all the great bands back in the day. You was with
Grand Jury.
Madhouse. Frankie the Spindles.
On and on and on.
Oh, I didn't play with. I wasn't with Witchcraft. No, I didn't do Witchcraft. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad I got out of that. That thing got wicked after that. Oh yeah.
So tell me about the era back then. This was the late 60s, early 70s. This was the 70s. Bands was great. Baltimore had a band on every corner. Tell me about your experience in Baltimore.
Yeah. Well, for me, I mean, you know, I started out playing. There was a band before the Grand Jury. It's called Red Baron, and that actually even before then I played with a group called the Black Eyed Peas. Mo Daniels played keys, a bunch of other people in the band, and I remember I was just started playing, man, but it was always, I remember being in a rehearsal one time. It was just some magic that happened, man, that I always wanted to get back to, and I just started chasing it, and I, you know, just stayed home and practiced playing guitars and found out bands that were playing, and, you know, used to see this dude playing in Madhouse, and that was the day. It was the bands everywhere.
That was the best time.
Tell me about Madhouse.
That was probably the most educational band I'd ever been in, because there were a lot of guys in there were music majors. They could all read music. They all knew how to help you learn how to feel it, temperament and stuff like that. But I ain't getting away from this. How I actually got things going on for myself, it was really Skip's illness is what made people start calling me and looking at me. I was at Mother Love's one night and Skip got sick, and they needed a guitar player, and they was already on stage. They needed a guitar player, and I just so happened to be in the audience. And Charlie Brown said, "I'm telling y'all, you should listen to this guy." So he could do the gig, and I did the gig, and also they had originals, and I knew their originals, and I had watched them. So from that point on, that's when I started getting gigs like, you know, like with Madhouse and all that stuff.
That sounds like a setup to me, man, because how he have his guitar already and he's in the audience. It sound like
Everywhere I go, I take a guitar.
I know you do.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
Yeah, and I got amplified stuff in my truck now. I don't play around, man, because you never know. It's like being a fisherman. You know, you're close to the water.
Yeah. If
you're close enough to where the fish are, you know, somebody said, "Come on, man, let's go fishing." You ready? You know, and that's how it was with me.
Very true. Very true.
So back in the day, they had this thing called Operation Champ.
Ooh.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. I used to play in Operation Champ. We had our manager was, it might ring a bell for a lot of people, Rodney Akbar. And, you know, he was connected. Rodney used to make clothes, and he had Akeen and Menelik. They used to make clothes, and they were connected with the city and the Operation Champ. We used to play all over the place on Operation Champ. Those were the days.
The days,
man. Yes, sir.
Tell me about your experience with Operation Champ.
Well, every time we did that, I mean, it was like, I'll just say hundreds of people, always, every time we played. It was probably one of the best things that could happen to a neighborhood near you.
Yeah.
You know, they just set up a stage, sound, play, and that's what the game was. And I can speak for every musician. We all look forward into doing that.
Yep.
That was great.
I didn't understand that.
Hold on a second. I apologize for that. That's this smartphone.
Let me turn mine on silent right now.
You didn't understand that. Okay. Back in the day, there was shows every weekend. Every weekend.
Oh yeah.
Tell me some of the venues you guys played at.
Mother Lowe's,
Okay, Embassy Room.
Embassy Room.
That was in Park Heights?
Yep.
Embassy Ballroom.
The Ambassador Room.
Ambassador Room on
Liberty. Yep.
Famous Ballroom.
Famous Ballroom was on Charles Street?
Yes, sir.
Charles Street.
The
Yes,
Scene.
The
Where's the Scene at?
Right around the corner from
Famous?
that and the Carousel.
Carousel. I was
Yeah,
trying
right.
to remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Carousel.
and then you had then you had the Famous Ballroom.
Yeah.
Then you had the Checkerboard Lounge.
Checkerboard Lounge, yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Was a place on Route 40 too. What was that? It was
Hollywood Palace.
Hollywood Palace too.
That was on Hollywood
Was
Palace.
that Route 40?
That was Route
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's Route 40. And another one, the Alcazar Ballroom.
Yeah, man.
And there was another one too. What is that? That one? I think it was on Fair Street or something like that. The Grand Ballroom or the Grand.
Ballroom. What about the Union Halls? Y'all did a lot of stuff.
We did all the Union Halls.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because I live right near Bethlehem, the Steelworkers Hall.
Steelworkers Union Hall.
Yep.
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 And then it was the one in Cherry Hill.
Yep.
And then you had the what was that? Downtown. It was a bigger place where they would bring in national acts to play at. I'll remember, but yeah,
You're
bunch of places.
not talking about the
Fifth Regiment Army.
Fifth
The
Regiment.
Fifth Regiment.
Regiment
Yeah.
Army. Yeah, man.
But we had so many places to play. We didn't want. I'll be honest with you, we didn't really want for nothing when you
Nope.
think about it. We didn't want for nothing. And if you was a musician and didn't have any money in your pocket, if you had no money in your pocket, something was wrong.
Yeah.
Because we worked all the time.
Yeah.
So tell me, Madhouse. Let me go back. During Operation Champ, Funkadelic used to come to town.
Right.
Right. Funkadelic found out that Baltimore had these great musicians. Right. And he started snatching them out. How'd you guys get off into into what you know? I know you were with Justin Timberlake, you were with Teddy Pendergrass, you was with Britney Spears. So tell me how those things came about.
Let's see. When I was with Frankie and the Spindles, I was with them for about 6 years, and I was kind of getting tired of playing local clubs and being around in West Baltimore area, you know. And I'm from Turner Station, being all around all the crazy stuff, you know. And so I really wanted to get out of the group. And I just told them, I just came up with a story and told them, I said, hey, look, man, I am trying my best to go with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. But then Teddy left the Blue Notes, and that's when that came about. Because James Carter was the one that, actually I was down the Civic Center looking at, checking out P-Funk, and I had my guitar with me, and I saw James Carter, and he said, hey man, you looking for a gig? I said, that's why I'm here now, trying to get a gig with P-Funk. But he said, you don't need that. He said, look, he said, go with me Monday, and Teddy's holding an audition Monday in Philly. So I went there, and it was a challenge doing those auditions, because It was some of the baddest cats on the planet came there to take that gig.
Wow.
And I was definitely not one of them. I was just one of the blessed ones, you know. But that's how that came about. It was just knowing somebody. And the rest is history. I mean, I played with everybody in that Philly thing anyway, from the OJs on. You know, I've recorded records with them. Man, I'll tell you something. I went through that Philly thing like crazy. Them Philly cats was hating me, boy, because I was from Baltimore, you know. Yeah. And they still kind of like give me the side eye today, some of them, but you know.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, tell me about your experiences with.
Well, mine was a little bit different because my cousin played bass. Actually, Kevin Walker. I gave him his first guitar. So, you know, and then I checked on him a couple years later, and the guitar was laying in the yard somewhere, but but he picked up the bass and he was playing. He could play, you know. But anyway, make a long story short, he started playing with Wilson Pickett in the early to mid 80s, and you know, I had actually gotten, I wasn't playing in bands anymore because I had gotten into church for a while, and then still saved and everything, but I had gotten deep in the apostolic church. But Kevin asked me if I wanted to play with Wilson Pickett, so I played with him for a summer, which was great, and that came to a close. Then I was, you know, I actually got a job, I got married, it was, you know, settled down. Got divorced. Kevin went on the Marriott circuit. At one time, they had nightclubs in all the Marriotts around the country. And the guitar player, he went on the road with a band called Radiant from D.C. And they were doing the Marriott. They had a record deal. They were, you know, but squabbling and arguing and everything. They were doing the Marriott circuit, and the guitarist was coming off the road, and Kevin was in the band, and he asked me if I wanted to play, and I took the first thing out of here and started playing on the Marriott. And through that, there was another guy from Baltimore, Marvin Hammett, who was the drummer, and I don't even remember this, but the story goes, according to him, a guy named Kevin Antunes, that was the musical director for New Kids on the Block, came in the Providence Marriott and heard us play. And they were coming off the road. They when we got finished with the Marriott gig, then Kevin and Marvin started a band. Kevin became musical director for NSYNC. They were putting together a band for this young girl who I had no idea who she was. I was actually Kevin Antunes called me and asked me if I wanted a gig, and I was like, oh, I don't know, I've been through that. I got a stable life. And he said, well, we're putting a band together for this girl, a little young girl named is Britney Spears. And I'm like, Britney Spears. And I remember my stepson was in the kitchen with me, and when I said her name, he said, Britney Spears. I said, you know who that is? And he was like, yeah, I know who it is. So then I said, yeah, I auditioned. We went to New York and we got the gig. So yeah, that's how that whole thing happened. And like WaWa said, the rest is history.
That's right.
So now you guys are doing a little bit of everything. I know you've been teaching a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't taught in a while.
Wait a minute.
Okay, we can go, yeah. I'm still trying to make some money. I'm trying to get some of WaWa's gigs.
So I know you've been teaching a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't been teaching for a while, but I still actually, I live in Orlando now, and I'm still gigging, and I actually let me insert this. Okay, so here's what's really crazy. Couple years ago, there was one of the girls that sang in Grand Jury called me, said, Skip, you got a song in a movie. I'm like, what are you talking about? And turns out her daughter, her name was Vanessa. We used to call her Nessie. And her daughter was watching this TV series and recognized her voice. And it's a song that I co-wrote with Michael Taylor. When I was in the grand jury, it's in a Justin Timberlake TV show that his wife produced called Candy. So, you know, but yeah, I mean, so I'm still in the industry. I'm still gigging, not crazy. Every now and then I go on the road and do some stuff, you know. So yeah.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
You did some stuff with him too.
Yeah. I played with Justin after I played with Britney. Played with Britney from '99 to the end of 2002, and that was a whirlwind because at that time she was the hottest thing in the industry. And then the same management had Justin Timberlake, and they hired me for the Justin Timberlake gig when Justin went solo from NSYNC. So I played with Justin from 2003 till I think 2010, 10 or 11. Yeah, so yeah.
You guys are doing Teddy reviews? Yeah, we're doing a lot of Teddy tribute gigs with some of the band members. They call it the original band members. I'm the only original band member, but the musical director he was one of the musical directors after Teddy had the accident in the wheelchair, you know, when he got in the wheelchair. So he was the musical director there. So we got that band together and we do a lot of shows. And we're basically sanctioned by Teddy's estate. We had to go through a lot of legal stuff because they was coming after us every time we do gigs. And because they wanted like 10% of everything. But they made an agreement that we can play for their foundation twice a year and they won't mess with us. So they just named a street in Philly after Teddy Pendergrass. It's called, I think it's called, like, it's on Broad Street. It's called Teddy Pendergrass Way or something like that. And we did a concert a couple weeks ago with that. But we've been doing concerts for the last 4 years with that. But to get away from that, Skip and them, they did me a favor too, because while they was with Justin Timberlake, they got me a gig with Sierra.
I got him that gig.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something. You couldn't tell me nothing after I got that gig, because I liked that gig. I had fun on the gig.
I guess you did like that gig.
Yeah.
He was kind of nice looking.
Oh my God. I was having so much fun in that band. The work could, I would say, grueling for 12 hours a day. You know, you rehearse at 11 o'clock in the morning to 12 midnight.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And we may have played 3 songs within that whole time, but we were rehearsing. But I had fun. I mean, because they paid well. I mean, I would have sat in a pile of mud for that money, so just to be there, you know.
But you were on it, and you guys did all TV shows.
We did all TV shows. We didn't do no touring.
Right.
Yeah. Because they were recording the band so that when she went out with her tracks.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, she went out with her tracks. And that made me sick because I really wanted to do the gigs with her. And she liked the band, though. She said she really having fun, but her management was doing all that, I guess.
Is that when she had the song "My Cookies" out? Do you know? Was that one of her hits then?
No, get off.
Okay.
Get up. Okay. Get up. Yeah, get up.
So nowadays, you're doing a lot of different things with a lot of different people.
Yeah, I'm doing all the smooth jazz stuff from people like from Kim Waters to Paul Taylor to Marion Meadows to, I could go on now. You're gonna run out of film. Okay, but I'll just say everybody in the smooth jazz industry, from Rick Braun to Walter Beasley, I have played for, numerous gigs with him. People like them, Kirk Whalum, Everett Harp. I've had a ball doing this stuff, and I'm still doing it.
You do a lot with the LeGrange brothers too, right?
Yeah, we just did something this week. We were play with a guy named Nick Stefanasi from out of New Jersey. He was a sax player that played along beside Sidney Bradley, one of the smooth jazz trumpeters. And we just did that gig. And then plus we just did the Sly and the Family Stone tribute. And then with the Granges, we also do In Gratitude, which is the Earth, Wind and Fire tribute. But the Sly thing, I'm kind of liking that.
Oh yeah, that's
I didn't realize how high energy some of that stuff they had. Because when we finished playing, I needed to go to the dressing room and sit down. Because you constantly playing riffs, and like they did so many overdubs on guitar. So what I had to do to incorporate it, if I couldn't play all three of them at one time, I would play all three of them during the song.
Yeah.
Like certain parts I picked to play it here, certain parts and I had a ball doing that. I would do that again tonight.
Yeah. That's my favorite artist.
Yeah, that's fun, man.
Yeah.
So speaking of favorite artists, okay, let's talk about who was your influences back in the day.
For me, it was definitely Freddie Stone and Sly Stone, man. That era of music, and God bless Sly's spirit, rest in peace. But man, his music just was amazing. And it's funny because I actually dated a girl from the Czech Republic. She's a classical guitarist, and the crazy thing is she had never heard any Sly Stone music. So I let her hear some Sly Stone, and she just fell out in my floor. She just laid on the floor, and she couldn't believe some of the music that it was so innovative. Plus, he brought together females, males, and black and white people in the same band. It was horns, it was funky. I mean, some of the riffs that he had, like Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself, it's 15 seconds of that music that's, to me, the funkiest music ever. Man, come on, man.
You ain't gonna get that. You ain't gonna get that nowhere.
No.
Nowhere. That voice was off the chain.
Oh my goodness. So
who were some of your influences? Excuse me.
Well, what's crazy about my influences, mine is like totally different. I always liked Sly and the Family Stone, but I could never play with a band that would ever want to play that stuff.
Wow.
These guys, until I sort of kind of grew up and met other musicians who was influenced by them. But because Madhouse was definitely influenced by Sly and the Family Stone, by bar none.
Yeah.
But for me, for my influences, it's crazy. Stuff like Led Zeppelin,
man.
Grand Funk Railroad. So I wanted to grab that kind of stuff because I knew eventually I wanted to do Motown stuff because I liked all that guitar stuff they did. So I listened to Motown as a kid, but I also listened to Led Zeppelin as a kid. So I was what you would call confused. Okay, so then by being confused, I had to learn how to infuse, and I did. I incorporate some of that rock stuff with some of the smooth jazz and R&B stuff that I do, and I have no other way to explain it. That's just what I do sometimes, But that's who I was influenced by. All that other stuff, all that. Like I'll just say it started basically listening to all the Motown stuff, but I always liked Jimmy Page and Jimi Hendrix, Mark Farner, these guys, Zeppelin and Grand Funk, and my ears was on the radio.
Now, look, can I make a comment about that? Okay, so WaWa, that's why he can solo and I can't solo.
Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
But no, for me, like I said, I went to a rehearsal one time and just listening to a band, and that magic, I just wanted to get that. So for me, it was great just laying back and just playing parts that I love it, because I'm just feeding off of everything else that's going on in the room, like the Hendrix stuff and things like that. I didn't try to get to that till later. Some of that stuff I'm still trying to get to, like the soloing part, you know, but just trying to lay back in the pocket and play, that was where I've always been, you know. And you talk about influences. I do want to give a shout out to some local people. Man,
Oh, yeah.
we had some guitar players
Oh yeah.
here.
Oh yeah.
Young, I mean, when we were young, I mean, you had Alan Thomas, you had Chuck Gentry.
Chuck Gentry. Oh,
You had
Mike Nelson.
Mike Nelson.
Oh, Mike Nelson was now Mike Nelson was dangerous.
He was a hero.
Yeah,
He was both our heroes.
Yeah. he would walk into a venue and we would all be sitting in the chair on the side. We said, "Oh,
Yeah.
here we go." He said, "You must pack your stuff up because
Yeah.
he get ready to ruin some things."
Yep. Could sing.
Oh, sing and play.
Man, come on. And then I forgot. There's a guy from the east side. I can't remember his name, but it was just some guitar players locally that just, man. The first time I heard Alan Thomas play, I think I was just up in the village and he was outside on somebody's porch and he pulled out a guitar and he started playing. I was like, oh my God. And every time I heard him, it was like, this is amazing. You know what I mean? It just, some musicians here in Baltimore, it was crazy. It was crazy.
That's amazing you say Alan Thomas, because in my neighborhood, they used to have like a Saturday night dance night, and every now and then they would hire a band, and it would be kids, and they hired the Williams brothers.
Yep.
Boy, when I saw Alan Thomas, you talking about jealous? I was so jealous. I said, "Oh man, I want to play guitar like that."
Yeah, man.
I mean, he was not to be messed with
At all.
Yeah, he was a great player.
And they used to play down at the famous ballroom when some of those big artists used to come in town, you know, and unfortunately, I spoke about Stevie Carter today. He's back with them back in there. I think it was Cousie's Kids back then, but he could tell you some of the people that they opened up for. Man, it was just musicians everywhere.
Well, what do you think about music today? I mean, just honestly, what do you think about music today?
Well, I'll tell you this. Music, I mean, you can find what you want now. I'll say that. Maybe not the stuff that they play on the radio, but you can find what you want because the internet is everywhere. So you can zero in on some things. It's some guitar players that are amazing
That
right
you would
now.
never hear of if it wasn't for for media.
Exactly.
Because I think about when we were growing up and we didn't have media. If we had media, we'd have meant the same thing that they're meeting now. You know, because there was a lot of players in their basement would never get a chance to be on a stage.
Exactly.
But today they got some cats out there that play guitar. Look, when you could play guitar with a pick and then turn around and play it with your fingers. Okay, now that was classical. Mm-hmm. Now they got cats playing like everything with their fingers, their toes, their
seriously,
people that don't have all their fingers, and we struggle so hard trying to play it with all the facilities that we have.
Yeah.
And these people don't even have these facilities and killing a guitar.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm not gonna say I'm jealous of that, but I am. I don't want to. I don't want to lose a finger just as But I'll tell you like this, man. These cats, it's some mean players out here. And and I'm gonna tell you something. Give shout out to the ladies, because a lot of the ladies out here playing their tail off today.
Oh yeah.
Them girls ain't playing around. Some of those girls can play.
Some of your favorite female musicians. Talk to me.
There's a girl that plays. She tours a lot. What's her name? Ariel.
Ariel Neal.
O'Neal. Yeah. I don't know her personally.
I know her personally.
Yeah, she's good. She's very cute and she can play.
And she plays with Beyonce.
Yeah, she's not a joke.
And I caught her with Fantasia.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were on a cruise ship together with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's up and coming artist for real, because they're doing some other things with her. I just saw some stuff that because she's very attractive.
Yeah.
So they're using her guitar playing and her sexuality.
Yeah.
All with that, because I don't want to tell you the name of the song, but you know, it's she's doing good. She's a DC girl.
Yeah.
Speaking of DC, what's the difference between Baltimore's music and DC?
Night and day.
Yeah. Is it only 35 miles away?
Yeah, night and day.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, DC got go-go. Or I mean, back in the day when I was here, go-go was big in DC. It'd be 15 people on stage and they hit one note, bam, and then it's percussion, you know. But then you had Chuck Brown. Oh my goodness,
Chuck Brown back in the day, he was mean, boy.
Yes, he was.
Back in the day, we used to go to Hollywood Palace and catch him on Monday nights. It was the most eventful evening to see a band like that.
Yep.
I mean, they never sound bad. I don't even think they even had a bad night ever.
Yeah.
Them boys was nice.
And here's something funny about that. One time, the Grand Jury opened up for Chuck Brown out at the Hollywood Palace, and we thought we were jamming. And he came on, he said, "We'd like to thank that young band for playing." And then they came on, and we were like, okay.
Yeah, they strike a match, boy.
No
I'm telling
question.
you. Them boys was dangerous.
But WaWa can tell you more about the DC thing now because I'm not, I live in Florida. He's still here. And
But it is night and day, musicians of Baltimore and DC. Not to say it's a bad thing, it's just a different thing. In some cases, they need what we have and we need what they have. And sometimes you get that right chemistry like that. It's curtains for everybody, you know.
Yeah.
I get an opportunity to play with a lot of the DC groups and stuff like that, a lot of DC musicians. And I mean, I've played with all the, I've set in for every guitar player from, I hate to say it, but spur of the moment. That's Wayne Bruce's gig, and I've worked with them. And I had a ball doing that gig because they play all the songs I like. When I'm playing the songs that I like, and I'm not just saying because like some people just like what they like and that's it. The songs that I like is what's being played. Like a lot of times you don't get a chance to play a song like Fence Walk because you don't have a horn set. You don't get a chance to play a song like Does Anybody Know What Time It Is by Chicago because you don't have horns or you don't have anybody that can sing it. And then you got Isley Brothers stuff. Then I want to play all that stuff like Brass Construction, SOS, Atlantic Star. I'd give anything to play in those two bands.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I love their music, So that's the kind of I like to play that stuff. But even having a local band here, it's hard to make somebody want to play that stuff. Oh man, I ain't playing that stuff. That stuff is you should play it.
Oh yeah.
You should play that stuff because if it's popular, if it's made money for them, what do you think it's going to do for you? It's going to do the same thing for you.
Yeah.
You might not make what the writers made, but you're going to make. You can have a good gig playing that music.
I got a question for both of you guys. Well, a couple years back, they came up with this song, Leave the Door Open.
Oh yeah.
That kind of
Bruno Mars.
Yeah, Bruno Mars.
That kind of want the band back to me.
Yeah, Bruno Mars.
Boy, somebody knew.
Yeah.
Look, it's almost like somebody had the lock to the music of what really soul music and R&B was, and they unlocked the door for them.
Yeah.
And they took it and ran, and I can't blame them.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of that stuff, Bootsy was involved in a lot.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of those albums. He produced it. Yeah, and also Bruno Mars. I mean, since he was a little kid. I mean, his history. He was doing shows and everything, and I think his dad played an instrument or something. So, but he was brought up on the funk, the soul music, and everything. You know, yeah.
Boy, they locked that thing
yes,
down,
sir.
boy.
And I love that music.
Oh my goodness.
Matter of fact, you know, I played with an artist named Jay Sean, and we were on the same show. Jay had a couple big hits out 2012, and you know, he had a couple big hits, and Bruno Mars and Jay Sean were on the same tour for a while, and he's a nice guy. Bruno Mars, real nice guy. Jay Sean too, but yeah.
Yeah, I had the pleasure to play with Jay Sean once.
Yeah.
Skip couldn't make the gig.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it was so cold outside. I figured since we're playing in Utah in May, I figured it was be a little warm, so I'm okay with playing outside. It was so cold outside, and they turned around and said, "Guitar player, do a solo." I shook my head. My fingers would not move.
No, it's not happening.
No, yeah.
Not when it's cold.
Not when it's cold. And I said, I bet you they'd never call me again. It never happened. I'm sorry, but I enjoyed the gig. So
let me say something else too about you mentioned DC in the past. We both had the chance to work with a guy from DC, Mike Scott. Yeah, Mike Scott's bad boy guitar player. When I played with Justin, when Justin first went solo, there was a guitar player which I met on the road. His name was Greg Howe.
oh my
and
God.
He was supposed to play with Justin Timberlake. I had hooked Greg up with Kevin Antunes, who's the musical director for NSYNC, and he was working with Enrique Iglesias. He put Greg on the Enrique Iglesias gig at first. Then he put him on NSYNC's gig. Greg was a solo artist, so Greg did one gig with Justin Timberlake, and then he didn't want to do it anymore. So then they called me. Then the second tour with Justin, they wanted to expand the band, and we voted for Mike Scott to get in the band. He's Mike Scott and Kevin Walker played. Mike Scott played with Prince, bunch of everybody, you know. So, but both of us had the pleasure to work with Mike Scott.
Yes.
Bad boy.
And I've worked around Mike Scott long before then, because he used to have a band in DC called Mannequin.
Mannequin, yeah.
And them boys was dangerous.
Yes,
so everybody
sir.
Now during that time, there was only, I think it was 4 or 6 bands that would play in Georgetown at the Paul Mall. It was only, I think it was 4 to 6 bands, and my band was one of them, and Mike Scott's band. But that's the band that Kenny Lattimore was in.
Yep.
Yeah, Kenny Lattimore was the lead singer of that band.
Yeah, man.
There was some dangerous guys. Those guys was dangerous.
Did Kenny used to, because I saw them in the park one time over in DC. Did he do a tribute to Patti LaBelle?
Okay.
Who did
That's
that?
what Jeffrey Walker was singing.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeffrey Walker, because you know he was one of the backup vocals for Patti LaBelle.
Okay.
Patti LaBelle was seeking somebody, a female, who could sing like her, so they can have the same temperament. But Jeffrey Walker could sing just like her.
Yeah.
And that's why they took him, you know, because he sings just like Patti LaBelle.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah, oh, Jeffrey, and you know how everybody, you got guys who sing a note, they take in some air and blow it out. Well, his was different. He would suck in the air, blowing it out at the same time.
That's crazy.
We've never seen that before. And Jeffrey had that thing, boy. He's still around.
Yeah.
He's still around.
Yeah.
So now that you guys are at this stage, what's next? Got any personal projects you want to do or anything like that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I mean, we in my mom's house. My mother just passed last month on July the 3rd, which that's amazing in itself, because she married my dad on July the 3rd, 1964. She made it to July the 3rd, 2025, and she actually passed on that day. The official time of death is July the 4th, 2002. But I was in the room. She was there for my first breath. I was there for her last breath. I'm gonna write a song for my mother, you know, and I already started on it. But I'm not gonna play it or anything until I finish it.
You guys got guitars? Go get 'em.
But here, I don't have any.
I got an acoustic in there with it.
I had amplifiers in my car.
I got guitars.
I usually keep a guitar in my truck, but I had nothing to do today. You know, nothing that would even like have me. I wasn't even thinking about bringing a guitar here because you know
I got 2 guitars back there.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a little embarrassing playing around Skip, but yeah,
right.
I mean, just give the people a little something.
Let WaWa play. I like to hear him play.
People want to, you know, hear you guys because you know. Oh, first of all, you did the Legends
Last year.
band. When we had the Legends premiere. Thank you for that, man.
Yes, sir.
The people who recorded that only recorded a snippet of the band. I don't know why they only recorded a snippet of the band. The band was killing.
Yeah, we had fun on that.
Yeah, that was. But yeah. So I'm gonna pause for a second, let you guys get the guitar and the amp.
Yeah.